All right, so it looks like this is recording. And here we go. All right, so I'd like to start first, once I get this all going here. All right. I'd like to first start by acknowledging the lands and the cultures of the Miwekma, as well as the Chokenio and the Ohlone people. I'd also like to say, Simone, I hear you and I stand with you. Here's my proposal, the Oakland A's new stadium. Is this a strikeout or is this a home run? So the Oakland A's are down to their last out, and the city of Oakland is up next. Both teams are in a hard-fought battle. The A's are willing to cover most of this $12 billion project for this new stadium and complex, but they're demanding Oakland pay $1 billion and offer enormous tax incentives and other fiscal obligations. Can Oakland afford this massive endeavor when the city's in dire need of this money? If no deal, the A's will certainly leave Oakland. And where will they go? Las Vegas betting odds have said that Vegas, Portland, Montreal, Austin, just to name a few. Will the A's ownership's hegemonic grasp force the city officials to sign the deal? The fans take their seats and they wait for the next pitch. Now here's their existing stadium, Ring Central Stadium. It's had many different names, but it was built in 1968. It's had 4 World Series victories, 3 Super Bowl victories. It's been refurbished at taxpayers' expense for $95 million. And we still owe $13 million a year until 2025. So why not just rebuild here? It has a space, it has the infrastructure, it has all the transportation, right? Why not just build here? Well, here's this amazing new plan, the Howard Terminal site. The proposal would include 35,000 seat capacity, 3,000 units of housing with 1,000 units dedicated to affordable housing, lots of acreage for parks, huge amount of commercial space, a gondola, 270,000 square feet of retail shops, 6,000 permanent and mostly unionized jobs, 3,000 construction jobs, and millions of dollars of possible taxable revenue for the city of Oakland. These are not all the details. These are just some. Now, this is a classic case of hegemony and conflict theory. We've discussed these theories in our class quite lengthily. Hegemony being the dominance by a social group or entity over another group. Conflict theory is the social power struggle by one or more individuals who oppose one another and are vying for control. In this case, we have A's ownership, John Fisher, multi-billionaire. He's taken the A's into a whole different realm. And then we have Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, who's done a lot for Oakland. We also have the Oakland City Council, and they're saying yes, but on our terms. We have the Oakland A's fan base that's just build us something. And the Oakland residents that are saying, can we afford this? You know, it's a tie game, 9th inning, 2 outs, bases are loaded. This power struggle between the A's ownership and the city of Oakland is a classic example of this conflict theory. This struggle that's saturated in this hegemonic ideology. As we've all learned throughout this course, hegemony is dominance by this social group, being the A's wealthy ownership, against another social group, the city of Oakland and the Oakland A's fan base. The fans want to love and support their team in any way. So when the ultra wealthy team owners demand these massive financial endeavors and tax breaks, the overbearing needs of the community suffers at the financial benefit of the wealthy owners. Now, our textbook really has this great quote. The bleak financial picture typically painted by most owners of professional teams when they seek these tax breaks and other gratuities suggests 2 things. First, it suggests that it's the responsibility of the local city or region to provide most of the funding for the venue. 2, it suggests that unless the owner is compensated for locating this franchise in that city or region, they will take the franchise to another city or region or select the location for their team. Another really key piece from my research that I found is in one of the peer-reviewed articles. It's a fascinating article. I really, really enjoyed it. called Corporate Welfare, Taxpayer Subsidies, and Home Field Advantages. This small little excerpt. The financing of a professional sports teams questions the validity of democratic decision making. And that's what we're seeing. Is this a home run for the A's, for the city of Oakland, for the fans? I really have remained a loyal fan. Excuse me. I've remained a loyal fan while also being a loyal tax-paying citizen of Oakland. It is a mutuality that I respect and a partnership that I love. Honestly, I would love nothing more than the team ownership in the city of Oakland to find some common ground that benefits both the team as well as the community. I believe that a symbiotic connection between this organization and the community like we've never seen before would be an incredibly motivating and powerful action. It would bring much needed buoyancy to the cement filled shoes of the city of Oakland that has been dragging us deeper and deeper into despair and economic distress. So, what about community based ownership? The Green Bay Packers have it. It's something that we could consider. And I'm thinking it's just one idea, and I discuss it in my paper. If we are to break this historic hegemonic lifestyle and start to create a more symbiotic strategy between the A's and Oakland, then I feel this concept of a community based ownership strategy could be an answer. In essence, it's like the umpire stepping up. We've all seen this in baseball, right? The pitcher's pitching inside, pitching inside. Is he going to peg the batter, right? He looks at the pitcher and he says, okay, I've given you a warning. He looks at the batter and he's like, okay, stop hugging the plate. All right, scoot back. You have a warning. He looks at both dugouts. You've both been warned. The umpire being the voice of reason in this case, maybe the solution is a community based ownership. Maybe it's just tearing down Ring Central Stadium. I can't stand that term. It's always going to be the Coliseum. Tear that down, rebuild there. Or work together to make this Howard project work. Either way, it's the top of the ninth inning. There's 2 outs. The bases are loaded. The score is tied. And the crowd is on their feet. Now, for me, as I really start to look at this project, I don't have an answer. I don't. I've spent weeks researching this. Again, I'm an A's fan. I'm an A's resident. I live here, I work here. I believe we can find a solution, but I'm really worried that A's ownership has already made up their mind, and I don't think they're going to let that hegemonic lifestyle go. But maybe I'm wrong. I just don't know. With that said, thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure taking this course.